So I was talking to my friend about the MDNA selling. He showed me this website, or where is it? So CBS did a little clipping of the Moderna CEO, and their executives made an announcement for a vaccine. And so I looked over it and I wanted to compare it with the SEC filing. So I looked it up, and there's a lot of activity that's happened with Moderna in the last little bit. And right away, one of the first things I looked at was what happened in May. So I clicked on that, and this looked pretty suspicious. So I started making a case, and so I wrote down everything and calculated all the transactions, and it showed that this transaction, this is a Form 4. It's basically showing a change in ownership, and they do these for directors, officers, 10% shareholders. So if you're one of these kind of people, you basically have to make a log of all their transactions as they happen. So they made a log of what he had transacted, and this is Kim Lawrence. He's the CFO of Moderna, and when I saw this, it kind of looked suspicious. So I started making a profile of every employee, every executive that works there. I went through all the Form 4s, and this is kind of what I came up with. So, I mean, after everything was said and done, nothing really looked suspicious except for what Kim had done. Everyone else either transacted before the announcement for their positive results. So they had a phase 1 trial, and it showed positive results, and they announced that on Monday, right here. So 6:30, so like about 6:07 a.m. was the announcement when it came in. Their stock shot up from $69 to what, 95, 94, and when you have it, the CFO managed to sell his stock right at the open. His best transaction was $86.96. Sold 800 shares, and granted, he did sell them off in piecemeal throughout the day, but I mean, how the heck do you get a top tick fill? $86.96 right at the open. I mean, the highest it filled was the best fill at the open was $87 even. So I took a closer look at it, and I went through and looked at the time and sales, and this is the reason why I actually made this video, because time and sales is only a record that E-Trade keeps for up to 5 days, and so it's a heck of a lot of data, and this won't be here anymore. So I just wanted to flip through it and show what kind of manipulation happened on the stock from the time it opened at 9:30 to the 20 seconds later when he sold it. So I'm just going to fly through this. If you want to rewind it and go back and look at it, that's cool. But look how every time it hits 86, right when you think it's going to break, it pops up 50 cents. So you got someone who's supporting 86, and it's almost like they have, like, it's almost automated. So every time 86 hits, they start buying, and I wonder if they're putting in sell orders to kind of put downward pressure on it, and then they lift the sell orders and pop at 49 cents. Because I mean, there's really, for a stock that's trading this much and as volatile as this is, for it to jump 49 cents. Pretty unusual, and it happens several times. So what'll happen is they'll pop it up, prop it to, they'll just smack the ask, knock it to 86.49, and then it'll just let it drop all the way back down. It hits that number, and it's almost like a computer says, okay, back up. 80 cents, look at that, 80-cent jump. Goes from 86, about to crack into the 85s, and boom, 86.80. And it happens like 3 or 4 times. So they just pop it up, let it like deflate a little bit, go all the way back down to 86, and then boom again. This time 86.58, and then they just let it travel down. 86 again. Now they're letting it move. So at this point, they're not gonna let it sit. They're not gonna let it drop to 86 and then smack the ask. They're just gonna drive it up, and this is what you call a stuff move. So they drive it up, get it up to 87, and bam, they tank it. So we're 11 seconds in. They're starting to ramp it up, kind of doing a squeeze. But what I think happened is they put an 87 stop in. Well, so they basically put the ask wall up, sold into this move big time, and at 20 seconds it hits $87, and then it just drops from there. So this is where I suspect that his transactions happened. Mr. Kim. And then from that point on, the stuff moves had been complete. Looks like this is probably where the manipulators sold into the move, and my guess is in order for him to actually know what's going on and to fill his order at such a high number, 86.96. I didn't find his actual number of shares. He had 798 shares at 86.96, and that order's not there. I was hoping I'd find it, and I didn't. So I mean, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. That would have been like solid proof. But I mean, doesn't mean he didn't sell his shares, but he may have sold them off in piecemeal. So this could have been orders that he filled against. So he could have put his entire order, 798 shares, and just filled it against a buyer's orders of 100 shares, and just filled it around that number, 86.96. So having an average fill price of 86.96. Somewhere in here, because I mean, he could have got some at 87 and got an actual top tick, but there's really nothing around it. So if you see where it filled at 87, there's really nothing where he could fill an 86.96 order. There's one here for 86.94, but it doesn't look like he's executing there. He's executing right. I mean, he had 1 second from once he saw this stuffing at 87 to filling his order. I mean, right there. Look, that's all 20 seconds into the open. It drops from 87, and within a second, this is all 1 second. It had already dropped 18 cents. So he had a 1 second opportunity from the time it hit 87 to the time it was down at 18 cents. So he was very well coordinated with his stock plan administrator to fill an order 20 seconds into the market, right when it peaked. It's called a top tick fill. Professional traders who don't have to say when with a stock plan administrator on a line to execute the order would be, it would be a lucky day for them if they did that. They filled in the 1 second that the order stuffed and then moved on down. So it had traded higher. It's possible that he was trading pre-market, but my understanding is if you are see this right here, if you have options that you're exercising on the 18th, these are the shares that he used. So he basically has to exercise his right to own the shares by executing this option and then executing the order. If that's the case, he'd have to do it during regular market hours, not pre-market hours. And so that basically means he had 20 seconds to fill this order and to sell this 86.96 stock sell. So it didn't happen pre-market, which some might say is possible. So if he exercises options, he would have had to do it after 9:30 once the stock market opens and execute his share order within that 20 seconds. And the only time